Hey everyone, my name's Amy. I'm coming to you from my newly finished screen porch at my house in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, on the beautiful Outer Banks. So, just a little about me for you guys. I live here with my husband of 35 years and some of our six children. My youngest daughter's getting ready to graduate high school, and we have a couple of our older children who came back during COVID. So my empty nest started to fill back up again, which is okay with me. My husband and I have six children altogether. My oldest is 30, almost 30. She'll be 30 in a few months, and my youngest is 17. Um, my husband and I both grew up in a small town in southern West Virginia. We moved to the Outer Banks back in 2003 for a job change for my husband. It's been a great move. It's a great place to live, great place to raise a family. So we have loved it here. I first became a nurse back in 1990, so I've been a nurse almost 31 years. And I started out in the emergency department, and then over the years, I transitioned to labor and delivery. And I've been in labor and delivery for about 22 years now. So that's where my heart is. I love it. And I do labor and delivery, postpartum, and newborn nursery. The hospital here on the Outer Banks is a very small critical access facility. So we deliver about a baby a day on average. Of course, it doesn't happen that way. It happens either five a day or none for a few days. But so we do all aspects of that care for that mom and her family until they go home. Um, Policy issues that I have been involved in. I've really not done a lot with policy development and stuff over my career. Probably the closest I can think is a few years ago we started doing VBACs here at the hospital where I work, which is a vaginal birth after cesarean. So a lot of study and research had to go into that to make sure that we could do those safely here in our small hospital. And we have been doing them and had great success with it over the past few years. So I've probably been more involved in the following of the policy and making sure that we are adhering to what we're supposed to be adhering to when we do this procedure. Professional organizations. I'm a certified childbirth educator. I've taught the childbirth classes at the hospital for a number of years. I also have my RNC in obstetrics. My favorite quote was hard for me to think about, but I decided to keep it simple. And our family are big Disney and Pixar fans. And actually, my oldest son actually now works for Pixar Studios out in California. So, a quote that I used a lot over the years with the kids is from the famous Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story, to infinity and beyond. And we always kind of said it, of course, in sort of a playful way, but I realize it's very applicable to a lot of situations and certainly to what we're all doing, pursuing our master's degree. That there's really no limit to when you can do whatever you want to do. I'm an older student, so some people my age are looking at me saying, why in the world are you doing this so late in your career? But, to infinity and beyond, I can, do it if I want to. So, long term goals. My puppy just came out on the deck, so you might hear a little barking. Long-term goals I would love to teach, especially at a community college level, um, just because that's how I got my start in nursing. And I just feel like I really got a good foundation um, for being a bedside nurse. And I would like to pass knowledge that I have attained over the years to some future nurses in, in that area. And I also feel like that I have done my education in kind of a non-traditional manner. I did not go to the 4-year school. I went to college after I was married and then did my BSN and my MSN much later in my career. So I think that, students that tend to do the community college route maybe are, non traditional, or at least more so. So I'd like to help them with that process. The book I chose to read for the project was Tightrope Americans Reaching for Hope. And I chose that one because when I was reading summaries about all the books, this one really piqued my interest because of its focus on rural America and how, that population can have some specific challenges related to health care. Living in eastern North Carolina, we definitely are a rural area. So I see those challenges affecting patients, and I grew up in a very rural area in West Virginia. So those challenges have been something that I've been exposed to my whole life. So I'm curious to see what this book will say about all that stuff. So, welcome to the course. I'll be glad to get to know some of you. I think I saw some familiar names on the list of people in the class. So if I've met you before, it's great to see you again. And if I haven't, it's nice to meet you guys. Good luck in the course. Thanks.